Imagine this. You wake up one morning, try to get out of bed, and suddenly your legs don't respond the way you expect. They feel shaky, almost foreign. You reach for the edge of the mattress, hoping to steady yourself, but within seconds you find yourself collapsing back onto the bed. For many seniors over 60, this frightening loss of strength can happen without warning. Sometimes it leads to falls, hospital visits, and months of slow recovery. But here's the shocking truth. The cause is not always the years or the age itself. Often it's because your muscles are quietly wasting away day after day without you noticing until it's too late. As a physician who has seen countless seniors lose their independence overnight, I can tell you that muscle loss, medically known as sarcopenia, is one of the most underestimated dangers of aging. Most people assume it's inevitable, just part of getting old. But what I want you to understand is that sarcopenia doesn't simply happen because of age. It happens because your muscles aren't getting the support they need to rebuild themselves. Every time you eat, every time you drink, you're either feeding your muscles or starving them. And the tragedy is that many seniors unknowingly starve their muscles daily while thinking they're doing everything right. Here's the surprising twist. The solution doesn't always start with lifting heavy weights or joining a gym. Yes, exercise is important, but without the right nutrition, your body simply doesn't have the raw materials to rebuild strength. That's why today's topic may feel unexpected. A single daily drink that has the power to rebuild muscle, restore vitality, and protect your independence well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. I've seen firsthand how this simple change can transform lives. Patients who once struggled to walk across their living rooms have regained the strength to garden, to carry groceries, even to dance at family weddings. It doesn't come from a miracle pill, and it certainly doesn't come from another prescription bottle. It comes from giving your body what it's been quietly begging for, the fuel to keep muscle fibers alive, strong, and resilient. Before we dive deeper, let me pause for a moment. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. And because your feedback is so important, let me ask you this. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If you don't, type 0, so I can improve and create better content for you. Now let's return to where we began. The image of waking up weak, unable to stand, is not an exaggeration. It is a reality I've witnessed in my clinic far too often. The culprit: years of slow, silent muscle decline that could have been slowed or even reversed with the right daily drink. This is not about trendy supplements or expensive powders sold in flashy advertisements. It's about understanding what your body craves and how to give it the building blocks it desperately needs. Let me introduce you to one of my patients, Mrs. Eleanor, age 72. A retired teacher, she lived alone and prided herself on staying active by walking to her local library every week. But one winter morning, she slipped while stepping off a curb. The fall left her with a bruised hip and shaken confidence. When she came to me, her biggest fear wasn't the pain. It was the possibility that she would no longer be able to live independently. After reviewing her diet, it became clear Eleanor often skipped breakfast, relied on tea and toast for energy, and rarely consumed enough protein or nutrient-rich beverages. Her body was literally running on empty, and her muscles were the ones paying the price. Together, we created a simple plan: replace her morning tea and toast routine with a daily protein-based drink fortified with vitamins and minerals. Within just 3 months, her balance improved, her strength returned, and she told me with tears in her eyes that she could once again climb the stairs to her favorite reading nook without fear. That's the power of the right drink. It's not a gimmick. It's science and nutrition working in harmony with the aging body. So as we begin this journey together, I want you to picture what independence means to you. Is it carrying your grandchild without trembling arms? Is it walking through your garden without fearing a fall? Is it having the stamina to travel and see the places you've always dreamed of? Whatever your vision, know this: your muscles are the key, and what you drink each day can either unlock strength or accelerate decline. And if the idea of a simple daily drink already surprises you, wait until you hear what happens inside your muscles after the age of 60 and why the decline accelerates faster than most people realize. That's exactly what we'll uncover next. By the time you reach your 60s, a quiet but relentless process has already begun inside your body. It's called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle tissue that accelerates with every passing year. Doctors estimate that after age 60, the average adult loses as much as 3% of muscle mass each year. That might not sound like much, but over a decade, it adds up to nearly a third of your strength gone. And here's the hidden danger: this loss doesn't just affect your ability to lift weights or climb stairs. It affects your balance, your metabolism, your circulation, and even the way your brain communicates with your body. You may have noticed subtle signs already. Standing up from a chair feels harder. Your grip strength when opening a jar isn't what it used to be. Walking long distances leaves you unusually tired. These aren't simply signs of old age. They're signs that your muscles are shrinking faster than your body can rebuild them. And when muscles shrink, everything else is placed at risk. Weak muscles mean weaker bones, slower reflexes, and greater vulnerability to falls. In fact, studies show that seniors with sarcopenia are twice as likely to experience serious fractures. Now, here's something most people don't realize. The process doesn't begin suddenly at 60. Muscle decline actually starts in your 30s, but for decades your body compensates. It's only after 60, when hormone levels drop and protein synthesis slows, that the loss becomes alarmingly visible. This is why so many people describe hitting their 60s as if the body just gave up. But the truth is, it didn't give up. It was neglected, and the good news is, with the right interventions, it can be rescued. Let me share a story that captures this reality. Mr. Thomas, a 68-year-old retired bus driver, came to me after experiencing repeated falls in his kitchen. He wasn't frail in appearance. In fact, he had what most would call a sturdy build. But when we ran tests, his muscle mass was dangerously low. His diet had been heavy on bread, rice, and coffee, all filling but offering very little protein or nutrients needed for muscle repair. Over the years, his muscles had been slowly cannibalizing themselves, and by the time he noticed, the decline was severe. What made the difference for Thomas wasn't hours in the gym, it was nutrition. We introduced a simple daily drink, a blend of protein powder milk and a small serving of berries. Combined with light resistance exercises, the results were remarkable. Within 4 months, his falls stopped, his energy returned, and his posture even improved. He later joked that he felt stronger at 68 than he had at 55. And while he still had to be careful, the transformation gave him back his confidence and independence. Here's the key point I want you to take away. Muscle loss is not just about exercise, and it is not an unavoidable curse of aging. It is heavily influenced by what you feed your body. If you're not consuming enough high-quality protein, vitamins, and minerals, your muscles simply cannot regenerate. And once you lose them, rebuilding becomes far more difficult. This is why the daily drink we're discussing is so powerful. It's not just a beverage, it's a delivery system for the raw materials your muscles are craving. Every sip provides amino acids that your body can use immediately for repair. It delivers nutrients that combat inflammation, which otherwise tears down muscle fibers. And it offers hydration, which is crucial because even mild dehydration accelerates muscle breakdown. Think about it this way. Your muscles are like a construction site. Every day there's damage from normal wear and tear, and every day they need bricks and mortar to rebuild. If you don't supply those materials, the construction halts. Over time, the structure weakens and eventually collapses. But if you supply those materials consistently, even in the form of one carefully chosen drink each day, the structure can stand tall and strong for years to come. So the next time you struggle to rise from a chair or notice your legs tiring faster than before, don't simply accept it as aging. Recognize it as a signal, a cry for fuel, and the sooner you respond, the greater the chance of reversing the decline. Now we've uncovered the reality of how and why muscles shrink after 60, but the question remains, what specific nutrients can slow or even reverse this process? And is there a drink that can deliver them quickly and effectively every single day? That's exactly what we'll explore in the next section, where I'll reveal how protein power inside your cup can make all the difference. When most people think of protein, they imagine steak, chicken, or eggs. And yes, those foods are valuable sources of protein. But after 60, your body processes protein differently than it did when you were younger. The older body becomes less efficient at breaking protein down into amino acids and delivering them to your muscles. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance. It means that even if you eat the same amount of protein you did at 40, your body absorbs and uses far less of it by the time you're 65. That's why so many seniors experience muscle decline despite eating what they believe is a balanced diet. Here's where the daily drink becomes a game changer. Unlike heavy meals that take hours to digest, protein drinks, whether made from whey, soy, or pea, are quickly broken down and absorbed. Within minutes, amino acids begin circulating in your bloodstream, ready to be used by your muscles for repair and growth. It's like sending workers straight to the construction site with a fresh load of bricks exactly when the walls are crumbling. Whey protein in particular is considered the gold standard. It's rich in leucine, an amino acid that acts like a trigger for muscle synthesis. Leucine essentially flips the switch that tells your body, it's time to rebuild. Soy protein is an excellent option as well, especially for those who prefer plant-based diets. It provides a full amino acid profile and has been shown to support both muscle and heart health. Pea protein is another powerful alternative, especially for seniors with dairy sensitivities. Beyond protein, many shakes can be fortified with vitamins D, B12, and calcium nutrients that also play a role in muscle and nerve function. Let me share the story of Mrs. Jennings, a 70-year-old widow who came to me feeling defeated. She told me, "Doctor, I feel like my body is melting away." She had lost nearly 15 pounds over the past year, most of it muscle. Her arms were thin, her legs wobbly, and she struggled to lift even light grocery bags. She cooked less after her husband passed, relying mostly on toast, canned soup, and coffee. She wasn't starving, but her muscles were. We started small. I suggested she try one protein shake in the morning, blended with banana and almond butter for extra calories and taste. She hesitated at first, thinking it was some sort of bodybuilder's drink. But within weeks, she felt stronger. 3 months later, she proudly reported that she could carry her groceries again without asking her neighbors for help. Her confidence returned along with her energy. The simple act of drinking one shake per day gave her back control over her body. This is not an isolated case. In fact, multiple studies confirm that older adults who consume at least 25–30 grams of protein per meal have better outcomes in maintaining muscle mass. And since many seniors struggle to eat that much protein in one sitting, a concentrated drink becomes the easiest solution. It's practical, portable, and effective. But here's something most people overlook: timing matters. Drinking protein right after light exercise, even just a walk or a session of chair exercises, can dramatically boost its impact. That's because your muscles are like sponges immediately after movement, absorbing nutrients more efficiently. Pairing activity with your daily drink doubles the benefit. Now, I know some of you may be wondering, isn't it enough to just eat more meat or fish? The reality is that chewing through large portions of meat can be difficult for seniors, especially those with dental issues or poor appetite. Digesting heavy meals can also strain the stomach and cause bloating. A drink, on the other hand, is gentle, easy to consume, and delivers what your muscles need without the burden of a heavy plate. I often remind my patients, protein drinks are not just for athletes or young people. They are one of the simplest and most effective medical tools for seniors to preserve independence. Think about it. Every sip is an investment in your balance, your mobility, and your freedom to live on your own terms. So the next time you look at a protein shake, don't think of it as a supplement. Think of it as your muscles' daily insurance policy. Without it, the decline continues silently. With it, you give your body a fighting chance to stay strong, steady, and resilient. And if protein shakes are this powerful, imagine what happens when we add another ingredient that's often dismissed as just for beauty, but is actually vital for aging muscles. In the next section, I'll reveal how collagen drinks, usually marketed for skin and joints, also hold a hidden secret for muscle preservation. When most people hear the word collagen, they immediately think of smoother skin, fewer wrinkles, or perhaps relief from aching joints. And it's true, collagen plays a vital role in maintaining the elasticity of your skin and the strength of your cartilage. But here's what's rarely discussed. Collagen is also a fundamental part of your muscles. In fact, nearly 10% of your muscle tissue is made of collagen proteins. Without them, your muscles lose their structure, their resilience, and their ability to contract effectively. As we age, collagen production declines dramatically. By the time you're in your 60s, your body may be producing less than half of what it did in your 30s. This isn't just a cosmetic issue. When collagen levels drop, your muscle fibers become more fragile, your tendons weaken, and recovery after activity slows to a crawl. That's why so many seniors complain that even minor exercise leaves them sore for days. It's not only about muscle mass, it's about the scaffolding that holds your muscles together. Collagen drinks, often dismissed as beauty products, can actually become a lifeline for seniors trying to preserve their independence. When taken daily, hydrolyzed collagen peptides are quickly absorbed and delivered to the muscles, where they stimulate the production of new connective tissue. Think of it as reinforcing the scaffolding of a building so that the bricks, in this case your muscle fibers, don't collapse under stress. Let me introduce you to Harold, a 74-year-old former mechanic who came to my clinic after repeated bouts of shoulder pain. He had stopped lifting even light tools and struggled to open heavy doors. His doctor had prescribed painkillers, but the relief was temporary. When I examined him, it became clear his muscles weren't the only problem. His tendons and connective tissues were weak, making every movement more difficult. I recommended adding a collagen drink to his daily routine, one he could sip mid-morning, fortified with vitamin C to boost absorption. Within 3 months, Harold reported not only less pain but also improved strength in his arms. He said, "Doctor, I can finally push open the garage door without wincing." His wife later told me she noticed he walked straighter and seemed more confident, no longer guarding his shoulder with every step. The science backs this up. Studies have shown that collagen supplementation, especially when combined with light resistance training, significantly improves muscle strength in seniors. This is because collagen supports the health of tendons and ligaments, the critical connectors that allow your muscles to transmit force. Without strong connectors, even the most powerful muscles can't function properly. Now, you may be wondering, should collagen replace protein shakes? The answer is no. They work best together. Protein shakes provide the amino acids needed to rebuild muscle fibers, while collagen drinks provide the glue that holds those fibers in place. Imagine trying to build a wall with only bricks and no mortar. It wouldn't take long before the structure crumbled. That's exactly what happens when muscles lack collagen. Another important point is timing. Many seniors benefit from taking collagen in the evening, as it may also improve sleep quality by calming the nervous system. Others prefer it in the morning with breakfast. The key is consistency. Collagen peptides need to be consumed daily for at least 8 to 12 weeks before their full effects become noticeable. Patience pays off. For those concerned about taste, collagen drinks today come in many forms, from flavorless powders you can stir into tea or coffee to ready-made berry-flavored drinks. What matters is not the brand or the flavor, but the habit of daily intake. So while society often markets collagen as a way to look younger, I urge you to see it as a way to stay stronger. Wrinkles may be cosmetic, but weak muscles and fragile tendons can mean the difference between walking confidently and suffering a devastating fall. And if collagen has this much hidden power, imagine what happens when we combine it with natural anti-inflammatory ingredients that fight the silent enemy tearing down your muscles every day: chronic inflammation. That's exactly where we're heading next. Powerful smoothies with turmeric, ginger, and berries that don't just taste good, but actively protect your strength. There's a hidden enemy that quietly eats away at muscle strength after 60, and it's not always obvious. It's called chronic inflammation. Unlike the short-term swelling you see when you cut your finger or twist an ankle, chronic inflammation lingers silently inside your body. Day after day, it releases chemicals that damage cells, weaken tissue, and accelerate muscle breakdown. Many seniors live with this condition for years without realizing it, blaming their stiffness, soreness, or fatigue on just getting older. But inflammation is not inevitable. It can be fought, and one of the most powerful tools is sitting right in your kitchen: anti-inflammatory smoothies. Why smoothies? Because they deliver concentrated nutrients in a form that's easy to digest and absorb. For older adults, this is critical. A solid meal heavy in vegetables might be difficult to chew or finish, but a smoothie can pack the same healing compounds into a single, easy-to-drink glass. And when those ingredients are chosen carefully, turmeric, ginger, and berries, for example, they don't just feed your muscles, they shield them. Turmeric contains curcumin, a natural compound proven to reduce inflammation at the cellular level. Ginger, with its bioactive gingerols, improves circulation and soothes sore muscles. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries are loaded with anthocyanins, antioxidants that neutralize the free radicals responsible for tissue damage. Together, these ingredients form a trio of defense, calming the fire inside your body so your muscles can heal instead of being torn apart. Let me tell you about Patricia, a 67-year-old grandmother who had nearly given up on her daily walks. Every morning, she would step outside, determined to walk around the block, but within minutes, her knees and hips began to ache. She returned to her chair, frustrated, convinced that her days of staying active were over. When she came to see me, I explained how chronic inflammation was sabotaging her efforts. She wasn't weak because of laziness or age. Her body was fighting a silent internal battle. We made one simple change: a daily smoothie. Hers included almond milk, a spoonful of turmeric, a small piece of fresh ginger, a handful of frozen blueberries, and half a banana for sweetness. Within 6 weeks, Patricia reported that her morning walks no longer ended in pain. By 3 months, she was walking 2 miles a day, smiling, as she told me she finally felt like herself again. What medications had failed to provide, food had delivered. The beauty of these smoothies is not just their effectiveness, but also their adaptability. You can tailor them to your needs. Need more protein? Add a scoop of whey or pea protein powder. Struggling with digestion? Add Greek yogurt for probiotics. Worried about bone health? Fortify with calcium-rich milk alternatives. The possibilities are endless, and the impact is profound. Another advantage: smoothies encourage hydration. Many seniors underestimate how much water they actually drink each day. Dehydration worsens inflammation, thickens the blood, and increases the risk of cramps and weakness. By simply blending fruits and vegetables with liquid bases like water, coconut water, or almond milk, you automatically increase your daily fluid intake. It's a double victory: hydration plus anti-inflammatory power. Now you might wonder, why can't I just take a curcumin supplement or a handful of vitamins? Supplements can be helpful, but they rarely provide the synergy of whole foods. When turmeric, ginger, and berries are combined, they work together in ways science is still discovering, improving absorption, enhancing circulation, and delivering results greater than any pill alone. Besides, a smoothie is enjoyable. It transforms healthcare from a chore into a pleasure. But here's the catch. Consistency matters. One smoothie won't undo years of inflammation. It's the habit, the daily practice, that gradually calms your system and restores balance. Just as unchecked inflammation erodes muscle over years, steady nourishment builds it back. Patricia often tells her friends, "Now I didn't change my life with medicine. I changed it with a blender." And she's right. So if inflammation is silently burning away your strength, an anti-inflammatory smoothie can be the fire extinguisher you never knew you needed. But even with the right nutrients, there's another factor that often gets ignored, yet it's just as destructive to muscle health as poor diet: dehydration. In the next section, we'll uncover how even mild fluid loss shrinks your strength and why hydration may be the simplest muscle medicine you're not taking seriously enough. When we think about muscle loss, most of us immediately picture aging, lack of exercise, or poor nutrition. But there's another culprit that is so common yet so underestimated that it silently weakens millions of seniors every single day: dehydration. Yes, something as simple as not drinking enough water can shrink your strength, damage your muscles, and leave you vulnerable to falls and fatigue. Here's why. Muscles are made up of nearly 75% water. That water isn't just sitting idly. It helps transport nutrients, flush out toxins, and regulate the electrolytes that allow your muscles to contract and relax. When you're dehydrated, even mildly, your muscles lose their efficiency. They cramp more easily, fatigue faster, and recover more slowly after activity. For seniors, this can be devastating. A single episode of dizziness from dehydration can lead to a fall, and one fall can change everything. As a doctor, I've seen countless patients arrive in my clinic complaining of weakness, confusion, or unsteady walking. Many feared they were developing a neurological disease. But often, after a few simple tests, the cause was obvious. They were chronically dehydrated. Older adults have a reduced sense of thirst, which means by the time you feel thirsty, your body is already behind on fluids. Add in common medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills, and the problem becomes even more severe. Let me share the story of George, a 76-year-old retired school principal. He came to me worried that he was losing his mind. He felt lightheaded during the day, his legs felt heavy, and his energy was gone. His wife noticed he rarely drank water, preferring coffee and the occasional soda. When we checked his labs, he was moderately dehydrated and his electrolyte levels were out of balance. We made one simple change: replace 2 of his daily coffees with electrolyte-rich water infused with a slice of lemon. Within weeks, George reported feeling clearer, stronger, and more alert. His wife joked that she had her husband back again. Electrolytes are another key piece of this puzzle. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium are minerals that act like tiny electrical wires in your body, helping muscles contract. If you don't have enough, your muscles misfire, leading to cramps and weakness. That's why hydration isn't just about plain water, it's about balanced hydration. Drinks like coconut water, diluted fruit juice, or specially formulated electrolyte beverages can replenish what the body loses through sweat and daily activity. Now, some seniors worry that drinking too much water will strain their bladder or kidneys. While excessive water in a short time can be harmful, steady hydration throughout the day is both safe and essential. Small sips every hour are far more effective than chugging a large glass once or twice a day. Think of your muscles as sponges. They don't work well if you flood them occasionally and leave them dry the rest of the time. They need steady, consistent moisture to function at their best. Another hidden danger of dehydration is its effect on circulation. Without enough fluids, blood becomes thicker, moving sluggishly through the vessels. This reduces oxygen delivery to the muscles and brain, leaving you fatigued and weak. For seniors already dealing with cardiovascular risks, dehydration magnifies those dangers. Something as simple as drinking enough water could mean the difference between having energy to enjoy a day with your grandchildren and being stuck in bed with exhaustion. Here's a practical strategy I give my patients. Aim for 6 to 8 cups of fluid daily, but don't rely only on water. Soups, herbal teas, smoothies, and water-rich fruits like watermelon or oranges all contribute to hydration. If plain water feels boring, add a slice of cucumber or a few mint leaves to make it refreshing. And remember, caffeine and alcohol dehydrate, so balance them with extra fluids. One of my patients once told me, "I never thought drinking water would be my medicine, But in many cases it truly is. I've seen seniors who struggled for months with muscle cramps and dizziness feel better within days once they improve their hydration habits. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and it's often overlooked. So if you're feeling weak, tired, or unstable, don't just assume it's your age. Ask yourself, am I drinking enough? Because your muscles can't survive, let alone thrive, without steady hydration. And if hydration is this crucial for muscles, imagine what happens when we pair it with nutrients that strengthen not only muscles but also bones, creating a shield against fractures and weakness. In the next section, we'll explore how calcium and vitamin D fortified drinks can protect both your muscles and your skeleton, giving you the solid foundation you need to stay independent. Your muscles don't work alone. Every time you rise from a chair, climb a step, or bend to pick something up, your muscles and bones are performing a delicate dance together. Muscles provide the force, but bones provide the structure. If one fails, the other suffers. That's why seniors who lose muscle mass often face another devastating consequence: weaker bones and an increased risk of fractures. And the truth is, you cannot preserve muscle strength after 60 without also protecting your skeleton. Calcium and vitamin D are at the center of this connection. Calcium gives bones their density and hardness, while vitamin D acts like a gatekeeper, helping your body absorb and use that calcium effectively. Without enough vitamin D, much of the calcium you consume passes through your system unused. And here's the surprising part: both nutrients play a role in muscle function too. Calcium allows muscle fibers to contract, while vitamin D helps regulate strength, balance, and coordination. Deficiency in either one doesn't just weaken bones, it directly weakens muscles. Consider the story of Linda, a 69-year-old former librarian. She came to me after a fall in her kitchen left her with a fractured wrist. She wasn't frail, but her bones were brittle, and her muscle strength was declining. When we tested her vitamin D levels, they were far below normal, and her calcium intake was minimal. She admitted she rarely drank milk and spent little time outdoors. To her surprise, it wasn't just her bones at risk. Her declining muscle control had contributed to her fall in the first place. We created a simple daily routine: a fortified drink containing calcium, vitamin D, and protein. For her, this meant a glass of enriched soy milk with added vitamin D, sometimes blended with fruit for taste. Over the following year, her bone density scans stabilized, her balance improved, and most importantly, she regained her confidence to move around without fear. She told me, "Doctor, I never realized a glass of milk could be more powerful than a pill." The science is clear. Seniors who consume fortified beverages, whether milk, plant-based alternatives, or specialized shakes, show better muscle performance and reduced risk of fractures compared to those who don't. That's because these drinks provide a triple benefit: they strengthen bones, support muscle contraction, and improve nerve signaling that keeps balance steady. One key detail often overlooked is sunlight. Our skin produces vitamin D when exposed to sunlight, but many seniors spend less time outdoors due to mobility issues, sensitivity, or lifestyle changes. This makes fortified drinks or supplements especially important. Without enough vitamin D, even the best diet fails to protect your muscles and bones. Another often missed factor is magnesium. Magnesium works alongside calcium and vitamin D, helping transport calcium into the bones and relaxing muscles after contraction. Some fortified drinks now include magnesium, creating a more complete bone and muscle formula. Let me emphasize this: your independence relies on this partnership. Strong muscles without strong bones still lead to fractures. Strong bones without strong muscles still lead to falls. But when both are nourished together, you gain the foundation for steady movement and resilience. For those who dislike dairy or have lactose intolerance, alternatives like fortified almond milk, oat milk, or soy milk are excellent. Many are enriched with calcium and vitamin D, making them equally effective. The key is choosing options that specifically list these nutrients on the label. So the next time you pour yourself a drink, ask, is this just quenching my thirst, or is it also strengthening my frame? Because every sip has the power to either build your foundation or weaken it. Now, if calcium and vitamin D are the pillars of strength, there's another surprising group of drinks that enhance this process by boosting your metabolism and protecting your muscles in ways most people don't expect. In the next section, we'll dive into teas, especially green tea and matcha, and uncover how they don't just energize your mornings, but also safeguard your muscles against decline. When most people think of tea, they imagine a calming ritual, a warm cup in the morning, or a soothing drink before bed. But what if I told you that the tea in your cup could be doing much more than relaxing your mind? For seniors over 60, certain teas, especially green tea and matcha, can become powerful allies in the fight against muscle decline. These drinks don't just hydrate, They actively boost metabolism, reduce inflammation, and protect your muscles at the cellular level. The secret lies in catechins, a group of powerful antioxidants found abundantly in green tea and even more concentrated in matcha. Catechins, particularly EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, have been shown to stimulate fat metabolism and improve circulation. Why does this matter for your muscles? Because better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reach your muscle fibers, fueling repair and growth. And improved fat metabolism means your body relies less on muscle tissue for energy during times of stress or low-calorie intake. In short, catechins help preserve the very tissue that keeps you moving. Let me introduce you to Mr. Yamada, a 72-year-old retired gardener. He had always been active, but over the past few years he noticed that his stamina was slipping. He tired quickly and his legs felt heavy after even short walks. His diet was relatively healthy, but he consumed little beyond rice, vegetables, and occasional fish. When I asked about beverages, he laughed and admitted that he drank mostly plain water with the occasional cup of coffee. We added just one new habit, a cup of matcha green tea every morning. Within 3 months, he reported something remarkable. His endurance improved, his legs felt stronger, and he was once again spending hours tending to his plants without exhaustion. What happened in his body wasn't magic, it was science. Matcha provided not only catechins but also a small amount of caffeine and the amino acid L-theanine. This unique combination gently boosted his energy without the jitters of coffee while also enhancing his focus. More importantly, the improved circulation supported his muscles during activity. His daily cup became a form of muscle insurance, protecting him from the fatigue that once held him back. Green tea also helps combat oxidative stress, one of the major drivers of aging. Oxidative stress damages muscle fibers over time, making them weaker and more prone to injury. The antioxidants in tea neutralize these harmful molecules, giving your muscles a fighting chance to stay resilient. This is particularly important for seniors whose natural antioxidant defenses are weaker than in their younger years. Now you might ask, can tea really make that much difference compared to protein or collagen drinks? The answer is yes, but in a different way. Protein and collagen supply the building blocks for muscle growth, while tea protects those blocks from being eroded by stress and poor circulation. Think of protein as bricks, collagen as mortar, and tea as the protective coating that shields the wall from weather damage. You need all three to build a strong, lasting structure. For seniors sensitive to caffeine, even decaffeinated green tea still contains beneficial catechins, though in smaller amounts. Herbal teas like hibiscus or rooibos also provide antioxidants, but matcha remains the strongest choice for muscle protection. The key is consistency. 1 to 2 cups daily over time creates measurable benefits. There's also an indirect advantage. Drinking tea encourages hydration, which, as we discussed earlier, is critical for muscle health. Many seniors don't enjoy plain water, but find tea comforting and enjoyable. This small change increases overall fluid intake without added sugar or calories. Another often overlooked benefit is weight management. Carrying excess body fat increases inflammation and strains muscles and joints. Green tea has been shown to gently support fat loss when paired with a balanced diet. For seniors, even a modest improvement in body composition can reduce pressure on the legs and spine, translating into better mobility. One caution: tea should not replace meals or become your only beverage. It works best as part of a larger strategy complementing protein shakes, collagen drinks, and fortified milk. Together, they create a daily routine that supports muscle health from multiple angles. So, the next time you prepare a cup of tea, think beyond comfort. With every sip, you may be fueling your muscles, protecting your circulation, and boosting your energy for the years ahead. But all of these strategies, protein, collagen, anti-inflammatory, smoothies, hydration, fortified drinks, and teas, are just pieces of the puzzle. What truly brings them together are real stories of seniors who transform their lives by making small but consistent changes. In the next section, I'll share an inspiring patient case that shows how one simple switch, replacing sugary drinks with daily nutrition, can reverse weakness and restore independence. All the science, nutrients, and medical facts I've shared with you so far are important, but sometimes the most powerful lessons come from real people who've lived through decline and then found their way back to strength. One such person is Margaret, a 71-year-old widow who walked into my office looking defeated. Margaret had always been independent. She prided herself on cooking meals for herself, keeping her garden tidy, and walking to the nearby church every Sunday. But over the past 2 years, she noticed her strength fading. First, she struggled to lift the watering can. Then climbing stairs left her breathless. Eventually, she avoided outings altogether because she was embarrassed by her fatigue. What frustrated her most was that she thought she was doing everything right. She avoided fried foods, ate plenty of salads, and drank fruit juices throughout the day. When we reviewed her diet in detail, the culprit was clear. Margaret was unknowingly sabotaging her muscles with sugar. The fruit juices she sipped contained little protein, almost no essential nutrients for muscle repair, and were packed with sugar that spiked her blood glucose. Those daily drinks gave her a short burst of energy but left her weaker in the long run. Her muscles weren't starving for calories, they were starving for building blocks. We decided on a small but critical change. Margaret would replace her morning orange juice and afternoon soda with 2 nutrient-rich drinks. For breakfast, a protein shake blended with skim milk, banana, and a handful of spinach. In the afternoon, a collagen-fortified smoothie with blueberries and ginger. At first, she resisted. "Doctor, I've never been the type for fancy powders," she told me. But I explained that these weren't bodybuilding supplements. They were targeted nutrition designed to restore her independence. Within a month, Margaret noticed her energy stabilizing. She no longer felt the afternoon crash that once sent her to the couch. By the second month, she surprised herself by carrying groceries up her porch steps without pausing for breath. By the third month, her daughter called me personally to say, "I don't know what you told my mom, but she's back to her old self, even better." Margaret herself later admitted that she hadn't felt that strong in over a decade. This transformation didn't come from hours in a gym. It came from replacing empty calories with muscle-building fuel. Her story illustrates a critical truth: what you drink each day can either silently erode your muscles or rebuild them. Sugary drinks rob your body of resilience. Daily nutrition drinks give it back. There's also an emotional side to this. Margaret told me she felt embarrassed when she had to ask her neighbors for help with small chores. She felt like a burden. Regaining her strength wasn't just about lifting objects, it was about lifting her confidence. "Doctor," she said, "the first time I climbed the church steps without holding the rail, I felt like I'd been given my life back." This is why I emphasize the daily drink so strongly. For many seniors, eating larger portions of protein or collagen-rich foods can be difficult due to smaller appetites, dental issues, or digestion problems. But a drink smooth, quick, and nutrient-dense bypasses those barriers. It ensures the body receives what it needs without strain. Think about your own life. Are there sugary drinks, sodas, or healthy juices that have snuck into your daily routine? Could replacing just one of them with a protein shake, a collagen drink, or an anti-inflammatory smoothie transform your strength in the coming months? Margaret's story proves the answer is yes. So, if you've been wondering whether a small change can really make a big difference, let her example be your reminder. Sometimes the path back to strength isn't complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as changing what you pour into your glass each day. And now that you've seen the difference this one daily habit can make, it's time to bring everything together. In the final section, I'll recap the most important lessons, show you which daily drinks are safe and effective after 60, and leave you with a clear, encouraging roadmap to protect your muscles for the years ahead. We've traveled together through the hidden causes of muscle decline and uncovered how something as simple as what you drink each day can either erode or rebuild your strength after 60. From protein shakes that deliver the building blocks for muscle repair, to collagen drinks that reinforce the scaffolding of your tissues, to anti-inflammatory smoothies, hydration strategies, fortified calcium and vitamin D beverages, and teas that improve circulation. Each one plays a unique role in keeping your body resilient. The core message is, this aging does not have to mean weakness. Sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle, is not a destiny written in stone. It's a condition influenced by daily choices. Your muscles respond to what you feed them, and the right drinks can mean the difference between struggling to rise from a chair and confidently walking across a room. Think back to the stories we've shared. Eleanor regaining her independence with protein shakes, Harold strengthening his shoulders with collagen, Patricia soothing inflammation through smoothies, George restoring his clarity with hydration, Linda stabilizing her bones with fortified milk, Mr. Yamada renewing his stamina with green tea, and Margaret reclaiming her life by replacing sugary drinks. These were not extraordinary interventions. They were simple, consistent changes applied daily. And each one demonstrates the incredible adaptability of the human body, even in the later decades of life. But as we close, let's talk about safe alternatives, because not every drink marketed as healthy truly is. Many juices, flavored waters, and sports drinks are loaded with sugar, which accelerates muscle breakdown and increases the risk of diabetes. Energy drinks with their high caffeine content can strain the heart and disrupt sleep. Alcohol dehydrates the body and damages muscle tissue. These are the beverages that quietly steal your strength, often under the guise of providing energy. So what should you reach for instead? Here are 5 safe daily drink options for seniors over 60. Protein shakes, 25 to 30 grams of protein per serving. Whey soy or pea. Protein shakes blended with milk or a milk alternative. These provide the amino acids your body desperately needs for muscle repair. Collagen drinks, 10-15 grams of hydrolyzed collagen peptides, taken with vitamin C to improve absorption. These strengthen not just your joints and skin, but also the connective tissues inside your muscles. Anti-inflammatory smoothies, a blend of turmeric, ginger berries, and leafy greens in a liquid base. These reduce chronic inflammation and improve recovery after activity. Fortified milks or plant alternatives. Options enriched with calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium. These build bone density, improve balance, and support muscle contraction. Green tea or matcha 1 to 2 cups daily. These improve circulation, boost metabolism, and protect muscle tissue from oxidative stress. These drinks can be rotated throughout the week or even combined in simple routines. A protein shake in the morning, a collagen drink in the afternoon, tea with lunch, and a smoothie in the evening. The goal isn't complexity, the goal is consistency. Small, repeatable habits create long-term strength. Of course, no single drink can replace an overall balanced lifestyle. Light resistance exercise, regular walking, adequate sleep, and emotional well-being all work hand in hand with nutrition. But the advantage of daily drinks is that they deliver concentrated nutrients in a form your body can easily absorb. For seniors with smaller appetites or digestive difficulties, this is often the simplest and most reliable way to nourish muscles. As you consider your own life, ask yourself, which of these 5 safe drinks can I start with today? Maybe it's as simple as swapping your morning juice for a protein shake. Maybe it's adding collagen to your evening tea. Maybe it's blending berries with yogurt for an afternoon smoothie. These small choices add up to something profound: the preservation of independence, dignity, and vitality in your later years. Let me leave you with one final thought. Muscle loss after 60 is not just about physical decline, it's about freedom. It's about the ability to climb stairs to your bedroom, to carry your grandchild in your arms, to walk through your garden, or to join family celebrations without fear of falling behind. Your daily drink is not just nutrition, it is a tool of empowerment. So I encourage you, take control. Experiment. Find the drink that works best for you and make it a habit. You'll be surprised at how much strength, confidence, and independence you can regain with this one simple daily choice. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another tip made just for you. Together we can say goodbye to muscle loss and hello to lasting strength.